Young man!
What?
You know smoking causes birth defects. Young man!
What?
You know smoking causes birth defects.
What?
And don't litter. Young man!
What?
You know smoking causes birth defects. And don't litter.
All right, well, Jackman learned his lesson, and now we want to hear from you, OVW Nation. Welcome to OVW FanZone Live, where fans talk back. My name is Tiny Brian, your producer, announcer, and voice of the chat room. And now, please welcome the OVW Podcast broadcast team.
Oh, my name is Jackman Oaks.
And I'm Brian Hines.
Tonight we'll get into all the nagging suspicions after last week's OVW Rise.
Then we ask, does this meet the standard of OVW Rush Division champion Buzz Backland?
Newly crowned Rush Division champion.
Yes.
3 weeks in, 3 matches in, Rush Division champion. Four match. One of them was on Overdrive, I believe, right? But
Indeed.
What a run that kid has had so far. I'm hearing myself a little bit back in the headphones.
That's because I just opened up the laptop. That should be done now.
Well, that's perfect, because we will have predictions, trivia, your questions and comments, and all of that stuff. And Brian Hines, what's he doing on the laptop over there?
He is going to be the manning the chat room. So if you're watching at home, feel free to jump into the OVW YouTube chat room. And Tiny Brian is the Tiny Brian is in the chat as OVW Podcast is looking for your questions and comments. And make sure you tag at OVW Podcast in the chat with your questions and comments.
Yeah, that makes sure we can see them. We're actually, all of the regular questions we're going to save until the last segment of the show. So if you ask a question, if you would like to see your question answered, be sure that you stick around for the whole hour we have here. And super chats, as always, go to the top of the chat. They will immediately interrupt any conversation that we are having, whether they be a comment or a question or a concern or a complaint or a request. Super chats go to the top and they will be addressed immediately.
That's right.
All right. So
We got something new to start the show here.
what is that?
This is, let's start with some OVW hot topics.
Oh, okay. I love it.
Not like the store.
No.
Okay,
If you
like real hot topics.
You guys feel free, if you have some dark eyeliner, feel free to put it on for this segment.
This isn't the 90s.
And
It's always the 90s in my heart, Brian Hines.
pro tip to any 15-year-old out there: if there's anything from Hot Topic that you want, just put it in your pocket. They're not going to stop you. Okay, let's jump in.
Podcast and Gladiator Sports does not condone shoplifting.
Absolutely, yes. This broadcast, OVW Ohio Valley Wrestling, Al Snow, Ed Payer, all of them, Gladiator Sports, they do not condone shoplifting from Hot Topic, but a 15-year-old Jackman Oaks certainly did.
That's why he wasn't allowed to host this show.
I thought that you were going to say, go ahead and buy it now because Hot Topic is going to go out of business.
Well, they're going out of business because everyone's shoplifting it.
Okay.
They're shrinking away.
Yeah.
All right.
This was not one of the hot topics.
No.
The Hot Topic was, which do you prefer, Zoomies or PacSun?
All right, let's get out of the mall talk. This is not the mall talk podcast.
All right. Luke Curtis and Cal Hero are boiling over. We have a video courtesy of Ohio Valley Wrestling. Can we go ahead and show that right now? I think that is important.
Come on, here we go.
Line it up, bro. Line it up. I'm sorry, bro. I mean, come on. I'm sorry, man.
Oh, you're sorry? The
Yeah.
first apology I get is about a board?
It's not my job to apologize.
Oh, about
to
your
you.
job. You ran off Thursday. You left me hanging.
No, you guys
Left
stop.
you hanging.
Dude,
guys
you never
stop.
changed.
Stop.
Hey,
Stop.
this is
What,
between
you
us, not
couldn't
between
BDC
you guys.
Thursday? You
Boys,
join him,
that's
huh?
enough. That's enough.
Hey, you got a problem with
Both
me?
of you, that's
I do.
enough.
We can do
Stop.
it right now, Cal.
You want to do it
Stop.
right
I'll
now?
beat your
I'll
ass.
do it.
I don't
Set
have to
up
put
the
a
ring.
mask
Let's
on.
go.
It doesn't matter. We don't need no mask men.
No?
I'll be right here.
Bring it. Come on. Bring it. We're doing it in class right now. Come on.
Y'all stop it now.
You know what?
Stop.
You know
Get
what?
over there. Get over there now. Dude, get over there.
Hey, you know
Get over
what?
there. Go.
You know what?
Dude, go!
We'll
Get
do
over
it-
there!
We'll do it Thursday in front of everybody,
fine. I'll whoop
so
your
everybody
ass in
can
front of
see how
everybody.
much better certified Luke Curtis is than Cal Hero. Get out my face, man.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Wow,
Okay.
that's pretty intense.
So I assume this stems from Luke trying to chase down Jamin Olivencia and the final masked man after they attacked Doug Basham on last week's Rise.
That would be my guess.
And
yeah.
Cal, of course, got brutalized by the masked men, and it seemed like Luke Curtis was nowhere to be found. I think that there's a very clear misunderstanding between these two, and it's not this most recent incident that is inciting it. It's years of competition between the two of them that is inciting it. Luke is incredibly driven. One of his mentors, Doug Basham, has been injured by these masked men. One of his former friends, Tony Gunn, has joined the masked men. Luke has a lot of personal reasons to go after the masked men, and I don't think that Luke forsook his newly found friendship with Cal Hero so much as he's so personally driven that Cal Hero was an afterthought to Luke, and Cal Hero obviously has not forgotten their past. Cal Hero maybe even feels a little like an afterthought himself after that beatdown by the masked men, and also so this is it's also just like workplace tension, right? Right, like
Yeah.
whenever you have underlying animosity with another person, it doesn't happen over something huge. The blow off, the confrontation is over something as simple and as day one as setting up a wrestling ring
And getting the guy's fingers.
Right.
By the way, can we talk about the
I
fact
bet
that
that-
we,
I
we
get- I
heard
bet that-
Luke swear? I mean, we heard Cal swear.
I did
even if
want
it was bleep.
I did want to mention that, yes, Cal swore. This is a new side of Cal. This is a new side of Cal. And also, if you watch our regular show, and then Cal, he was on our regular show, and he came back looking a lot like Triple H did in 2002.
I noticed that.
And then also, here's the thing. MJF came back looking like Triple H 2002 a couple weeks later. He stole it from Cal Hero. I'll say it here first. MJF is a mark for Cal Hero, and he stole Cal Hero's cool, sweet denim look.
You're saying the day that MJF came back was a beautiful day.
It was a beautiful day.
Okay, don't let it get away.
But no, he stole it. He stole it from Cal. He obviously was watching this young upstart Cal Hero, and he came back in the denim and the black as well, black jeans as well. But I think that this is just very telling of where these two guys are right now. Is this needs to be addressed. All of their history together needs to be addressed, and they were looking for the first opportunity to do it, and it was something as simple as a board falling on Cal Hero's hand. And I would go so far as to say that someone's finger probably gets mashed every single time anyone sets up a wrestling
It does
ring.
look like a dangerous profession to get
Yeah,
involved
I would
with,
imagine
really.
so.
So I feel like this is really the smallest of things, but it's because these guys have such a huge history. Do you think that they fight it out like brothers, or that this is the beginning of a new feud between the two?
With the way things have been going at OVW anymore, it is really hard to say. I mean,
hard to say.
things that you thought you knew for certain, people that you thought you knew for certain, don't always seem to be who and what you think they are. So I would like to think that, they could just, duke it out, and then that'll be it, and everything will blow over, and they'll get back to handling business at hand, which right now is the masked men. But I don't know. Like you said, when Cal came back to see us a few weeks ago, he looked different. He's talking
felt
different
yeah.
lately.
And this is the most obvious example of that, right?
Yeah. So I don't know.
And not only is like people's dynamics in OVW changing, people's characters in OVW is changing, and that's going to happen more and more over the next little bit, because we're seeing more and more new prominent faces in Ohio Valley Wrestling, including this past week. Me and you got here right. We were an hour late to OVW. We've been running. We ran into some bad traffic issues.
It has been a week as far as that goes. I'll get into what happened on Sunday a little bit later.
You've
But
had quite the car/road issue over the past month or
Yeah.
so. Anyway,
But we were an hour late getting to Davis Arena because there was a serious accident on I-64, and we were
serious if not fatal.
Yeah, I mean, we were stuck in traffic for a good 10, 15 minutes, and then an ambulance came up, and everybody had to, like, part, like, the Red Sea so the ambulance could get through, and then everybody got back in the road, and a little while later, there was a fire truck, and then, like, another ambulance, so it was pretty serious.
We
But
were 50-50, to be quite honest, between going or just getting on the next exit to turn around, wondering if we even had enough time to enjoy ourselves. But we ended up going.
I hope those folks are okay, though.
Yeah, and you never like to see that on the road.
No.
It gives you an anxiety because you're also on the road.
Yeah.
So you got there an hour late.
Right. Mount Kadeem, though, we got there just in time to see this new guy show up.
Boy, isn't he something. He's huge.
Yeah,
we haven't heard really your thoughts on Mount Kadeem yet, Hans, because you were off on Monday.
That's true.
So what do you
Wait.
think of Kadeem?
I'm going to stop you right there. I was not off.
You were busy.
doing with
I
traffic trouble.
had a situation on my hands that I had to take care of. I was on the way back here. I was going to go to the OVW show in Mount Sterling, but I thought it was an afternoon show. I was going to go early and go see this, and then go back to Ohio and spend some time with my family, and that wasn't the case. So I went ahead and came back to Ohio, and on my way back to Lexington, the alternator died in my car, and my battery light came on, and I knew that meant I was driving on borrowed time, and I thought, if I can just make it back here to the studio, I can come in and be with you guys, and we'll take care of all that. And I got about 1,000 feet from New Circle Road, and that was all the power she had.
Ironically enough, pretty much the exact same place your car broke down the
Yes.
last time that we were driving it to try to go
Yes,
to OVW.
it's like the Kentucky Triangle. You know, you go in there, and I had brake problems last week, and this time my battery was down. But long story short, I spent like 3 hours just hanging out at this Penn Station on North Broadway, and the assistant GM Jacob really hooked me up, and
not an endorsement.
No, made it to where a bad, stressful situation wasn't nearly as bad or uncomfortable. But either way, the tow truck guy came to get me 3 hours later, and he looked suspiciously like Jebediah Blackhawk. I kid you not.
Was it Jebediah Blackhawk?
It was not, because his shirt said Ed. But anyway, I digress. That's one. So
Are you sure it didn't say Jeb?
I don't know. He talked a lot.
Tell me about Mount Kadeem.
Okay, so what I saw was a very impressive new addition to OVW.
Absolutely.
Anybody who can give the veteran Jack Vaughn a run for their money like that on their debut is somebody to pay attention to moving forward. Mm-hmm. The thing I learned afterwards, when we were out in the parking lot talking to fans after the show, one of the people that we talked to was Ed Payer. And Ed Payer said that
Guest of the show.
Yes,
Show.
former guest of the show.
You can find that on this very YouTube channel right now.
He said that this guy he played in the NFL for 4 years. So somebody like that's going to be tough. A lot of people that we know from wrestling spent time in the NFL or semi-professional football.
Even college.
Even
man.
college, yeah. So I expect to see more from this guy, and I can see that he's going to be a heavy hitter in the OVW locker room, for sure.
A couple things. Mount Kadeem. Mount is the right word. That boy looks like the top of a mountain. He looks like the peak of a mountain. He really does. Like he's got this kind of towering figure. Absolutely incredible. So much presence. So many things you cannot teach. And I also want to give the shout out to the veteran. He was the perfect person to make this new appearance, Mount Kadeem's first appearance in OVW, feel and look as threatening as Mount Kadeem should feel and look. So Loved it. Loved Mount Kadeem. Probably my favorite guy I've seen. My favorite new addition since Hima.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I loved him when she first came out, and I loved her like immediately. Mount Kadeem for me is that same like instant star power.
I was really glad to see. Oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank. King Bamani. About 6 or 8 weeks back. I was glad to see him. I've seen him around in the Southern Ohio wrestling scene, and I was glad to see him in this capacity. So shout out to you.
So the last thing under Hot Topics, I actually learned from Overdrive. So Overdrive last night right here on this channel. Make sure you go and watch it.
Premieres live on Tuesday nights.
That's right.
Tuesday nights. Yesterday. Wow. Our boss Victor Henderson is in the chat room this evening.
Oh wow! Hey
great.
Vic.
And hey Keith, hey Jason, hey Miranda.
Hey, the entire chat room.
Hey
Hey,
chat
guys.
room. The Wisco girls are almost in Kentucky.
Oh, that's right.
They're coming
That's
in?
right. I forgot about that.
So
I
anyway.
thought it was next month, but awesome.
So you guys know Victor and I cover Overdrive. We recorded the episode that we'll release on Friday this afternoon.
Yes.
And they do what they sometimes do. They had a vault segment in this episode of Overdrive, and it was an interview, with Al Snow from episode 40 of Overdrive. So this would have been like 2018, 2019. It's worth your time, chat room. If
Did
you've
you do the
not
math?
seen,
Did you take your shoes and socks off?
I had to.
Okay.
So what this video explains, this was right after the National Heavyweight Championship was premiered.
Wow.
So he's explaining how the National is designed to work with the other minor territories and development centers and stuff that work with OVW, and that the heavyweight belt is the #1 contender for the National,
Okay.
and that there are lists of 5 #1 contenders for each belt at any given time, with the heavyweight being the #1 contender for the National. Then this is where it gets interesting, and we may need to do a little theory crafting. The Rush Division champion, once a year, gets a choice of 3 options. Number 1, the Rush Division champ can choose to not defend their title for 30 days. Just be clear, be able to just come and laugh in everybody's face for 30 days.
Okay.
The second option, they can choose to defend their championship, and if they win the championship on the same night, they can then challenge the heavyweight champion for the belt, and if they win, they vacate the Rush and become the heavyweight.
That's
Sure.
that's something that TNA had employed, formerly Impact had employed for a while. So
The
I think they were
third-
still working together at that point. So
Yep.
that makes sense.
The third option is that the Rush Division champion can vacate his own championship for a shot to jump the heavyweight and get a shot at the National Heavyweight Championship.
Wow.
If you choose that third option, they lose the Rush title either way, but they get a shot at the pinnacle tippy top title, as the current holder of that title, EC3, has famously called it.
I guess what I would like to point out here is that there's some things about that rule set that I can kind of see winks and nods to other companies through, and that's fine because like everybody in wrestling borrows from everything anyway. I would like to also observe that if they're replaying this, that means these are still the rules.
Yeah, that was my point.
There is some
we've
significance
heard none
to
of
it.
this in the year we've been covering this closely.
No.
We've often pondered loudly
How they're all connected.
How they're all connected.
And,
And
now
this-
we know.
and now-
knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe. So, but yes, the fact that they chose to run this seems to imply that it is going to be significant. So everybody, take the time, go watch Brian
Kennison.
get in. Yeah, the problem is what happens to him on Overdrive this week. It's a fairly terrible fate.
And it's up live now
It is live there
on
on the
our
interview.
this very YouTube channel you're watching.
So why don't we get to our guest?
Are we throwing to the American Standard, Mr. Buzz
It's
Backland
about
right
that
now?
moment.
All
I
right.
think so. Well, wait a minute. We got a couple more things to
We
do.
want to hit these tour
I was
dates real
gonna
quick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's hit the
let's-
tour
come on,
dates
let's,
super quick.
All right. This will
It
be
feels
the.
like we're moving slow, but we're moving fast.
Yeah. So, OVW Tour update. London, Kentucky, June 22nd. Independence Rage at Davis Arena, June 29th. The Phoenix, Arizona, and Las Vegas shows have been postponed. They will be rescheduled at a later date. We don't have a date now, do we?
We do not.
We just know that they have been postponed. Okay.
Yes,
So
exactly
if you are in...
But there might be something that weekend that will be announced here that...
Let's keep it under the vest.
Yeah,
yes,
but there might be an OVW event that weekend that you will hear from if that becomes official.
Very interesting. Cheswick, Pennsylvania, August 10th. Cincinnati, Ohio, rescheduled to August 16th. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, August 18th. OVW pay-per-view, OVW Fight Night at Appalachian Wireless Center in Pikeville, Kentucky, August 31st. DePlain, Illinois, September 7th, 2024. You can get tickets for all of these and any future OVW event at ovwtix.com.
And then let's do the question of the week, and then we can get to Buzz.
So this is the question of the week. It's on the OVW FanZone Facebook page. Did I have that correct?
On the Facebook group, yes, sir.
So this is the poll.
This is the weekly poll,
Okay.
yes, sir.
And the poll simply states this week, sometimes it's a little more convoluted, but this one is an easy one. Do you think Doug Basham is involved with Crixus and the Revolution? Crix and the Revolution. Yes or no? Do we have any feedback so far on that question?
It's a good question. Let's check. We'll check in later in the show.
Okay, good.
I don't have it up in front of me.
I have to check on dinner anyway.
Before this break, what I want the chat to do is come up with your best wrestling-related song, Prince puns. May they be song titles or movie titles
Like
or
Crix
whatever.
and the Revolution?
Like Crix and the
There
Revolution.
needs to be a meme of that.
Like
that album cover.
That's what I actually was. Wendy and Ren, I'm looking at you for the Crix and the Revolution album.
Where you
cover.
at, fam?
Yeah, we've seen your work on the Photoshop before. Wendy and Ren, it seems like you are perfect for the Crix and the Revolution poster. But
And for those, there's some
more?
wondering in the chat room about the Western Swing cancellation. My understanding is that OVW simply didn't want to go to Arizona and Las Vegas on the 20th and 21st of July.
When it was going to be like
gonna
120
burn 'em
degrees.
out.
Yeah, the heat was going to be literally causing super issues because they were going to do a lot of driving, and so they decided to wait till it cooled off. I'm pretty sure they were having pretty good ticket sales.
That is the overwhelming consensus, is that it just did not make sense for the safety, the health of the performers to be out there in some of these venues.
when they're certainly not used to it.
Right.
Yeah.
So yes, some Prince and the Revolution puns are hilarious. But we ready?
Raspberry, what's something Scottish that rhymes with beret?
Haggis.
Hagberry beret, actually. We will be back right after this break. You're going to hear from Buzz Backland. You're going to see some other stuff. And thank you guys so much. My name is Jack Minoaks.
I'm Brian Hines.
And this is the OVW FanZone Live, where fans talk back.
Great, coming out. Thanks.
You're welcome. You ready for us?
Oh, God.
I'm okay.
Nice and loud whenever you're ready.
Hey folks, it's B. Hines here for the OVW podcast, the unofficial podcast of OVW, and I am joined by Rush Division Champion, Buzz Backland. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, sir. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. I have always been curious about something, and I was wondering if you could talk me through the chicken wing, the crossface chicken wing. Can you kind of demonstrate on me how you do that move? I mean, that's your finisher. That's your submission move. And when I was growing up, my brother and I had many a backyard match after school, and that was one that neither of us could ever master. So I was wondering if you could take us through that.
Are you sure though? Because it's the deadliest move in professional wrestling. I can show it to you. Are you? Do you really want to see it?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. All right. Hold on. I'll pass this mic off. So walk me through it.
Okay.
We go like this.
Yeah. So you're gonna have your back to me.
Okay.
I'm gonna take your arm.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna put it behind your back
Oh. All right.
and grab your hand like this,
Okay.
and then I'll grab your chin,
Mm.
and then it's like a simultaneous pull. And it's almost. Is it? You feel it?
Yeah. Yeah. I
It's
feel
almost
it.
like it's almost like Will Austin's gonna receive if he acts up in front of me again.
Wrestling, a love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand, a brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. From counting the lights in your local armory to main eventing in Korakuen Hall in Tokyo, Japan. Collar and elbow, the wrestling brand.
OVW, my name is Ruby. My name is Cameron, and I am in the OVW FanZone. Oh yes, big time. OVW Fan Club all the way.
To all of the loyal fans of OVW, I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude. Without you, there is no OVW. Without your passion, your energy, your unwavering support, there is no us. There's no talent, no production. Without you, there's no OVW. Thank you for being the driving force behind everything we do. The unsung heroes of our saga. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you, OVW fans. We can't do it without you.
If you've ever dreamed of being part of professional wrestling or sports entertainment, make that dream a reality and attend the world-famous Harvard of Pro Wrestling, the OVW Academy with Al Snow, the birthplace of legends including Batista, John Cena, Randy Orton, The Miz, and many more. Will you be the next name added to that impressive list? Visit OVWacademy.com and apply now.
It's me, Cal Hero, and I am at the OVW FanZone. Come on, come hang out.
Now we're back.
Hello, guys. So, producer the show on the fly, nothing like it. My name is Jack Minogues. This is Brian Hines. This
That's right.
is the OVW FanZone Live, where fans talk back. We want to thank anybody who's keeping up with us tonight. We are working diligently to piece together. We just got a bunch of new equipment so that we can bring this program to you in higher and higher quality every single week. So please stick with us. We appreciate you guys sticking through. We will hopefully find that video package with Buzz Backland before the end of the hour. And if not, baby, we're still going to have a good time, and you guys are still going to see it eventually. So.
Yeah, that's right. I was kind of hoping that we'd kind of spread it out because we were able to do a couple things with him, and
we showed the one. We showed the package where you got your
where he stole my last
chicken
cigarette.
Wing. Well, yeah, we've already shown that one.
We saw we
that
did
one
see
at
the
the
chicken
top,
wing.
and we just saw the chicken wing instead of the thing.
So
yeah,
okay.
you can talk about getting that chicken wing applied to you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, first of all, in general, I am pro chicken wings because they're delicious. I prefer garlic parm.
This is true.
But am a fan of all chicken wings, except for
including
maybe
the one you got that you were sampling in the video.
Well, sometimes you get what you ask for, and I asked for it, and well, it ended up about like I thought it would. So
Buzz.
So we do have a $5 super chat.
Hey, what's up?
Ito Kozeo.
Oh, hey.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back.
Regular super chatter here. Thank you.
He says,
welcome
quote,
back.
The Revolution? I'm thinking one of their members at least is a double agent for Al.
Ooh.
Monocle face, pink heart.
That is an interesting theory and could very well be true. I don't know.
I'd love to know, man, who you think that double agent could be. But
yeah, give us your theories in the chat.
Here is, I guess, some of our theories, our predictions of what's going to be happening.
Yeah, let's get into predictions.
Next little bit here in Ohio Valley Wrestling.
OVW's favorite new game that we play.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun with this. This ups the ante for us. And me and you, I think we're competitive people in general, but I don't think we've ever been competitive like with each other. And this brings out this weird thing with us. I think, or is that just me speaking? Is this? I thought this was therapy. Tiny Brian, take us away.
All right, let's get into OVW 1296 prediction results. Let's see. Both of you predicted Sophia Rose would triumph over Angelica Risk.
Right choice.
And though
Yes.
Angelica was one spicy quesadilla, she was not the winner of this particular match. So you both got that right. Congratulations.
She sold her ass off, though.
Oh yeah, it was such a great match.
She deserves her flowers for the way that she worked in that match, and Angelica Risk does for sure.
All right, OVW Tag Champs Tusks and Chains versus Tony Evans and Jay De Niro. Both of you once again predicted Tusks and Chains would get the victory. However, Brian Hines suggested that it might have something to do with a botch of the loaded baked potato glove. And it literally was disqualification because the ref saw the loaded baked potato
It very
glove.
much was. I want to keep taking stock of how effective the loaded glove is over the next few weeks, because I think that is the true turning point. I don't think that Jay De Niro is going to get mistreated by Tony Evans to the point where he leaves. Because I don't think Tony Evans really mistreats Jay De Niro. It's not this classic, two dudes with attitude.
No, it's not like an Alpha Academy situation they got going on now.
But it is. I think that Jay De Niro. I think that as we see the glove become less and less lethal, Jay De Niro is going to change more and more. And I think that's kind of a beautiful metaphor. Right?
Interesting.
All right. So then we have the triple threat captains match for the number one contender to the tag team champion, the most qualified match in the history of match with qualifications.
And who got that one?
I believe that nobody chose Luscious Lawrence as the potential winner.
Never had a chance.
Brian Hines chose Super Z as the potential winner.
I went with my heart.
Yeah, but Jackman Oaks went with Dustin Jackson.
I'm going to be honest. I went with my heart, too. I loved Dustin Jackson when he was at OVW during his first run. He's back new. He's in this tag team with Flawless Jake Lawless. I've loved their tag team. Was so high on him and Cal when they were a tag team. I loved him as a singles guy. So I went with my heart, too. But I think this was the clear choice. I think this was the clear choice to move forward what could happen with those titles.
And that's what you said when you made that prediction, and you were right, and for that reason.
So next up, Tiny Brian.
All right. So then we have both of you again said that Hollywood Haley J would get the win over Dream Girl Ellie. You guys may need to correct me. My notes were a little weird. I believe you both thought that the Scream was going to return with this match, or was that just Brian Jackman?
I said within 2 weeks. I said I would give it another week.
Right. Of course, he came this week as Ellie is once again making good choices.
But I also didn't expect to see. I thought that we would see my line of thinking, I guess, to explain it, is we'd see maybe a week of like tweener Ellie. Like, is she bad girl? Is she?
Yeah.
And then we would see the full thing. It turns out that we just saw that Tiffany betraying her friend was enough for her to go full turn and break away from Tiffany.
And, do the costume change and everything.
Yeah,
so.
I noticed right away that, things were back to where they had been before.
Yes, and the Scream is back, and we're all very happy.
That's right.
Then we're talking about Luke Curtis in action. So I was in the chat room because I did not go to Louisville with you guys on Thursday.
No.
So I spent a rise in the live chat, and this came up. Mm-hmm. We talked about, because we didn't know what Luke would be doing in a match, so we talked about what color robe he'd be wearing. I believe both of you agreed that he would probably wear the blue robe, and then he wore the purple robe.
He did that on purpose.
I'm pretty sure he was trolling you.
Because that's the kind of guy he is, and hats off to you, man.
No,
that's why he's certified.
I almost said purple, and then I got stage fright and was like, does he actually have a purple one? Surely he has a purple one. Do you know for sure he has a purple one?
Oh, yeah.
Just say blue.
I think if we say some colors he definitely doesn't have, that would be a challenge. I'd like to see some nice minty green robes or some Kelly green robes.
Like a piece of gum.
not minty green, but a darker.
Not ready mint.
No. And then a couple little bits of business. Tony Gunn was in action. I think you both called that there would be masked men interference.
Well, I wonder why there
in.
wasn't masked men interference in the Tony Gunn match, Brian Hines.
Well, I mean, he sort of was masked man interference. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying here. Is we were so far off. So was everyone else at Davis Rito. We weren't the only ones. Like, nobody expected Tony Gunn. I'm gonna jump forward.
He was like the Spanish Inquisition,
because
man.
right now, you cannot mention Tony Gunn's name and not mention the fact that he is one of the masked men. He's one of the people that has been trying to attack the very integrity, the very base of Ohio Valley Wrestling. You can't mention this guy's name as just being in action without also mentioning what he's involved with now. Like,
well, they didn't bother to say Rat Fink Tony Gunn is in action. They just said Tony Gunn is in action.
Now it'll be like Total Chode Tony Gunn is in action from now on.
Is that PG-13?
I'm going to call it. It's fine.
Okay.
All right.
No takebacks.
Last bit of business from last week. Al confronts the Revolution. I asked you guys, do you think Al will end up bloody? Behind said no. Jackman said possibly.
I chose chaos.
You chose chaos, and in wrestling, it's always the smart bet to choose chaos.
I love it too, baby.
So,
so it sounds like we got a little bit of like breaking news, like some newly announced stuff going on here.
Well, we do have the matches for tomorrow, so let's get to predicting what Rise will be.
Okay.
So first of all, the OVW Executive Board is going to make an announcement regarding Crixus.
Oh wow!
What do we? Any thoughts on what that might be?
Probably not good for him.
64 counts of felony.
Wow. I mean, they're not a grand jury. All right.
The OVW Executive Board indicts Crixus.
Yeah, they do not have that. That is not in the Constitution. All right.
Do we think that what do we think that they're going to do? Do we think that they're going to like strip him of the title?
Surely not.
Probably not. But don't call me Shirley.
Oh, come on! I knew it. It was only a matter of time before you got this one on
Hey,
the biggest on the biggest audience we have once a week. It was only a matter of time before you got.
It's
your
been a
jokes
crummy week, man. Let me have my dad jokes.
Yeah. We'll tell that story on our regular podcast. Actually, let's take a moment. My name is Jack Oaks. This is Brian Hines. We host a show with several updates a week called
Point at the sign.
Called the OVW Podcast, the unofficial podcast of Ohio Valley Wrestling. You can find that anywhere where you get your podcast, including here on YouTube. Tomorrow we will be sitting down with an interview with Buzz Backland. Figured that was a good time to, since we do have this huge audience, way bigger than we deserve, way bigger than we could have ever asked for. Might be a good place to tell them where they usually want to find us, right?
Full interview with Buzz Backland. Look for that on the feed tomorrow, our podcast feed at ovwpodcast.com, and wherever you get your podcasts, look for that in the feed in the morning. Then mine and Victor's coverage of Overdrive will be there Friday morning. So that's what's coming up from us.
So we know this: Luke Curtis and Cal Hero tomorrow night at the Davis Arena. Who do you got?
We're going to go straight into it, aren't we?
We are.
That's a tough call. Gut instinct, team certified.
All right.
I don't think we see the end of it. I think it's probably our 2 main event, and I don't think we see the end of it.
There's a no decision?
I think that the masked men
break it up.
Yeah.
I think that, and maybe I'm getting like paranoid of the masked men, where it's like everything I predict, I'm just like, well, no, surely they'll be there. But
you're seeing masked men behind every door now.
But I do think that the company, rightfully so, is in a state of panic, and like it leaves the fans in a state of panic. And I think that, kind of looking at the matches here, if there was going to be one with masked men involvement, especially now that Tony Gunn is aligned with that faction, it's the Luke Curtis Cal Hero match.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Let's do Tustin Chains versus Tony Evans and Jay De Niro. Tustin Chains, the tag team champions. I don't think this will be for the belts.
We just did this last week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm going to go Tony Evans and Jay De Niro this week. Otherwise, it's complete overkill.
All right.
Yeah.
Brian, do you agree?
What he said, yeah.
Okay, so...
Can't wait to eat crow on that one.
So we also have Dream Girl Ellie facing Tiffany Nieves.
That's going to be a good
This
one.
was the one that Layla
Yeah.
Layla Gray made for her.
Right. When they kind of agreed to set each other's punishments up for this week.
Mm-hmm.
Heading into the pay-per-view, Independence Rage.
You want me to get spicy? Sorry, I was trying to figure out how spicy I should actually be. Tiffany's got a new bad girl. She takes the victory. Leela Feist.
Really?
So you think Leela runs in and interferes and is the new bad girl for
And
the
then
club?
we're gonna have a bunch of bits for like the next few months of Tiffany always calling her Layla. Yes.
All right.
Wow, did not see that coming.
Yeah.
But who knows?
I don't know.
I'm going to put you down for the Tiffany victory, and then bonus points for the Leela Feist run in.
And then bonus points if she's always calling her by the wrong name.
I love big swings. Brian, what do you think? Dream Girl Ellie?
Okay, first
Or
off,
Tiffany
what happens
Evans?
if you're wrong?
I'm just wrong, and I come back on here next week and say something stupid again.
Yeah, I get to be
kind of
smarmy towards him for a minute.
That's kind of the point of the whole show.
Okay, yeah, all right, that's fair. I think I'm going to have to go with Tiffany. It's going to be a hard-fought battle because Dream Girl Ellie is no slouch at all. But I'm going with La Princesa, Tiffany Nieves.
All right.
I think it's a bad time to beat Ellie, but I think it's a hard time to beat Tiffany. That's kind of my line of thinking. Up next, Tiny Bryant.
Then we have Layla Gray versus Freya the Slayer as set by Tiffany.
Was this a title match?
No.
Did not think so. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Layla is the women's champion. And we should say that. Give her her flowers.
It's another little bit of a puzzle piece here, is it not? This whole Bad Girls thing, flashback to a year ago when they were just at a wedding being bad. Like, just being, like, horrible. Just being, like, catty.
They just ruined
right?
Freya's wedding and made up a bunch of stuff.
And now this whole thing is kind of come back together a year later. It's not a coincidence that Tiffany went straight to Freya for Layla's match. Freya probably has more unresolved animosity toward Layla Gray than anybody else in the entire division from a storyline point of view, right?
Easily.
Not to mention Freya's still owed a rematch for the women's championship.
I'm going Freya because I think that it's the right time to plant the seed of who can lose. Can Layla lose to Tiffany a week out ostensibly from the pay-per-view? It's good for her to have a loss going into the pay-per-view to leave people wondering.
Okay. And Brian, what do you got?
That's pretty sound logic, really. But before I get into that, I noticed that Freya called out Mickie James a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we need.
I wonder if there's
we need a reel of that. That's our own content. We need to make a reel of that.
For real, yeah.
I will go and find it, and we'll get a reel of it.
Called her out in the middle of our show.
This show, this
On
very
OVW
show that you are
air, yeah.
listening listening to
live
and
on
or
air.
watching right now. Yes.
Yes. So I know that she's fired up. I know that she's got some unresolved things that she's got to work through. Not the least of which what happened in her history with Layla Gray. I'm going to go with you on this. I think you're right. I think that'll kind of set the stage for Independence Rage, and I think that that'll give Freya some more motivation to get in there and take care of these unresolved issues. One of them, would be the fact that she wants to get her hands on Mickie James.
Yeah. No, I think Freya's just got a lot of motivation, a lot of steam, a lot of momentum heading into this matchup here. Tiny Brian.
All right. The last match we have that is announced is, I presume, a non-title match between OVW Rush Division Champion and subject of our interview in the morning, Buzz Backland, and personal friend of the show, Maximo Suave.
Love me some Maximo.
Shall I put you both down for a Buzz Backland?
Yes.
That sounds
I don't want to speak for my friend here.
That sounds like a drink order. Bartender, two Buzz Backland, please.
2 Buzz Backlands dry, please.
Yeah.
All right. So while we're here, a little prop bet: does Will Austin interfere?
No, I actually wanted to say something about that.
Okay.
Will Austin loses tomorrow.
He's in action, and you think he loses?
Yes. No, I don't actually think that. I do think he probably interferes in the Buzz Backland Maximo thing, but I think it would be great for the character if he lost tomorrow.
So on
To
the subject
who?
of Will Austin
Doesn't matter.
interference-
Doesn't matter. The story is that he
He's
has
on a
no
skid.
mojo.
Yeah.
The story is he has no Riz anymore. Right.
So on the subject of Will Austin interference in the Buzz Backland match, yes or no?
I think Maximo could actually, if Will Austin interferes, Maximo sneaks a victory.
Interesting. So but do you think will interfere? Yes or no? This is the
I can
spot
see that.
I'm putting you on. So
Yeah.
you're going yes.
I'll go
Brian
yes.
Hines. Okay.
I'm sticking with my if-win statement.
Okay. So, but you don't know whether or not Will's going to. What do you think's more
No,
likely?
I mean, we talked earlier today, but I don't really, we don't talk about business like that really whenever me and Will catch up. So
you're just going to evade this as long as I keep poking at it, is what you're telling me, right?
Yeah, it's the gimmick.
Okay. All right.
No,
so-
I don't. I'll level with you. I'll stop being facetious for a moment. It's hard for me to give a straightforward answer because you're asking me 3 questions. If there's no Will Austin interference, Buzz Backland will win. If Will Austin interferes, Maximo will win. That's my answer.
That's 2 questions. You said 3.
Yeah, but they're all interconnected. It's like a Venn diagram. It's hard. It's a hard question to answer without an if-then statement, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
All right, Jackman. If Will Austin interference, then Max wins. I have that listed as your official prediction on this subject.
I appreciate you working with me.
All right, I'm here to help. And I'm even going to put a little asterisk by where I indicated you would win that Buzz would win.
I'm gonna go Carson Drake wins. And then I'm also gonna go Beaches and Cream win too.
All right.
And Super C and Jira win. I would like to see Beaches and Cream against Boy Toy Troy Austin and Primetime Jackson.
They had a good match on Overdrive this week.
Yeah, I'd like to see it on the big show.
Good for you, fellas.
I'd like to see it on the big show. Primetime Jackson, what an incredibly nice guy. Nice guy.
Brian, do you have any predictions on these appearings?
And
the Wisco chicks have arrived in chat.
Hey. Ren and Wendy, Randy.
Yeah, Carson Drake will probably come away with a victory. We don't know. It just says in action.
Yeah.
So he's going to wrestle somebody. It might be a cactus or a platypus, or it might be just
Harry the platypus.
No.
Sorry.
Oh,
That's copyrighted.
Yeah.
And they will win.
They are litigious.
That's
So
censored.
let's move along. Do you think Will Austin loses? What do you think about Jackman's thought on that, Hans?
I mean, he's the unofficial manager, so yeah, probably.
You want to know an if-then statement on that? If he does not lose, he will interfere.
Okay, now this is going to get super complicated.
Okay, yeah, that makes
See what I'm
sense.
saying?
Yeah, that tracks.
All right, well, y'all keep that in your heads. So, I think that's all right. So yeah, that's it. Unless you've got something else, anybody else have anything they want to predict or talk about tomorrow's Rise?
Not at the moment. I mean, we're excited to be there. We're excited to go. It's such a great privilege to go to Davis Arena, 4400 Shepherdsville Road every single Thursday night.
And some Saturdays.
Such a great privilege to sit in and amongst that crowd, sitting in amongst with you guys, other OVW fans.
In the fan zone.
And thank you guys for joining us on this Wednesday evening for the OVW FanZone, where Brian Hines, fans talk back.
Oh, yeah.
Wait. Thank you for joining us on the OVW FanZone, where
Fans talk back.
we will be right back.
Actually, hang on just a second. Let's do a little producing on the fly.
Okay.
Do we have the Backland thing to show at this point? No. That is not. We'll get that up independently or on the next episode.
It'll be on the next episode.
It'll
be on everything.
It's fitting that all of this isn't going to come right now because, I mean, we've got the July 2nd show as a free show.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the Fan Zone on July 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
And what better time to have Buzz Backland than on the...
Yeah, Brian's been pushing for us to
try to have
this.
Why not?
A completely
Put a
unhinged cookout.
poll up.
A completely unhinged cookout.
We need an
Buzz
unhinged
Backland.
cookout with Buzz Backland.
I don't dislike it.
I'm talking burgers, dogs, brats.
If only there was a
potato
wrestler.
salad.
If only there was a wrestler we knew who could cook a really good burger. Oh wait, never mind.
So we're
Never
going to go
mind.
ahead and run that. We're going to run and show the Buzz Backland thing with Brian Hines one more time here at the top of this break. And we will be back very shortly here on FanZone Live.
Thank you guys.
Thanks.
We'll wrap it up shortly.
Coming out, thanks.
You're welcome. And at the plus?
Oh, God.
I'm okay. I'm all right.
All right.
One down. Cash, I want to thank you so much for inviting us up here for this interview here to Davis Arena. Thanks for taking time to speak to my guys.
Absolutely.
And I hereby give consent for a chop.
Okay.
This is number 2.
Number 2. Who was the first one you took a chop from?
I took it from Crixus, our very first interview.
Okay. You ready to take one from Cash?
Let's see. This should be an upgrade.
Okay. It probably will be an upgrade. We'll see.
Y'all pray for me.
Pray for it.
Yep. Oh, God. Wow.
Woo! I'm okay. I'm good.
You good?
Woo! Yeah. Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Cash smash.
Yep, cash smash.
To all of the loyal fans of OVW, I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude. Without you, there is no OVW. Without your passion, your energy, your unwavering support, there is no us. There's no talent, no production. Without you, there's no OVW. Thank you for being the driving force behind everything we do. The unsung heroes of our saga. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you, OVW fans. We can't do it without you.
If you've ever dreamed of being part of professional wrestling or sports entertainment, make that dream a reality and attend the world-famous Harvard of Pro Wrestling. The OVW Academy with Al Snow, the birthplace of legends including Batista, John Cena, Randy Orton, The Miz, and many more. Will you be the next name added to that impressive list? Visit OVWacademy.com and apply now.
Wrestling, a love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand, a brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. From counting the lights in your local armory to main eventing in Korakuen Hall in Tokyo, Japan. Collar and elbow, the wrestling brand.
And we're back in the Fan Zone. I am Brian Hines.
I am Jack Minox.
And I would like to take a second to circle back around to a conversation I had after the show on Thursday night. And I was talking with Chris Runyon, who is a fan of OVW, a huge fan of OVW. Hey, Chris.
He's all over the Fan Zone.
He's all over the Fan Zone. Great guy. Love talking to you every single time.
Love talking to everybody. Yeah.
Yes, but you asked me a specific question, and we didn't really get a chance to talk about that because there's so many other people and other people join the conversation, and we got to talking about something else. But you asked me something very specific.
I think I remember what it is.
You know what? Yeah, okay. So you're picking up what I'm putting down.
I am.
So Chris asked me if we ever had any sort of issues or technical problems or anything when we do this show, because he said, I mean, do you guys ever have any problems like that?
Has he watched this show?
He's like, you guys just make it look effortless, and it's like, okay, when it may.
Chris, I love you, but this is
yeah, Chris, I love you too, and I appreciate the sentiment, but no, there are issues every single time, whether the power goes out before showtime and we're not sure if we're going to have to record here or we're going to have to go to Nice Guy Andy's studio.
Shout out to Nice Guy Andy.
He's
on at 8 p.m. right on YouTube
right after
tonight.
the show,
Yes.
right on their YouTube channel live.
Wow.
Go watch them when we're done here.
But to be honest, it is hard every week.
Yeah,
it is hard.
every week it is something.
And we
shout out
do
to
it.
my kid who is never on microphone.
Exactly what I was going to say.
He is the hardest working person on this crew. Way harder than I do. Way harder than either one of you on the couch.
Without a doubt.
Yes.
We could not do this from the very beginning of this show, when it was just a podcast, when we thought we were going to do 2 episodes of it. When this show started on Wednesday nights, the OVW FanZone Live, we thought we were going to do 1 episode, and now we're going to call us the next morning and say,
"You're done, kids.
Get out of here."
Malachi is the MVP. Malachi is LeBron. Malachi is Michael. Malachi is Biggie. Malachi is all of your favorites and whatever is your favorite thing. That's what he does here for us. So in the chat, why don't you let Malachi know how much you appreciate all the hard work he does?
Sincerely.
And how much we appreciate it.
Yes, we most certainly do. We would not be sitting here if it wasn't for the man behind the desk who does not like to talk or be on camera.
On this show.
Anyway.
Don't worry, I'm gonna get it. We've got some ideas. We got some ideas down the road.
They want to do an anime show, Brian.
Oh, that's right.
And it's all stuff that we haven't seen. The other one hasn't seen.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I love a show where one person has seen a thing and the other hasn't, so they can kind of conversate.
And yeah,
I will never watch this anime show because I don't care about anime, but I'm in full support of them doing it.
The Sailor Goons coming to Blacklight Moon Productions.
I do like that stupid name. So there are, I will say that we, while we're on the way out here, because we just got a couple minutes left, we just want to say thanks.
Do we have any good questions or anything?
A few people. Let's see. This has been kind of a quiet night, really. The chat room's been
we
kind
thank
of
you guys for joining us.
Maybe in the chat room.
And
kidding,
John Rogers does say that Jackman should have some sort of a reasonable punishment if he gets things wrong on the predictions.
I think, what's his name?
That would be John Rogers.
Block him. I'm just kidding, John. I'm just kidding, John.
I'm not actually authorized. I can't moderate any of the OVW chat room, so.
John, you're not wrong. And whenever we think of something that is appropriate, but also
humorously humiliating.
Humorous, and whenever we figure out something that's good content, I have no problem taking the punishment for good content, baby.
John also suggests that the OVW Executive Council will make Crixus defend the championship at Independence Rage. This is basically a contract signing situation.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So that's a reasonable
That's a good call, yeah.
I love that. This guy's
I like
good.
where your head's at, kid.
Yeah.
Good job.
I like him.
So, our Wisconsin contingent was on the road, so they didn't give us any, they didn't have much for us. Oh, look, it's Kozoko. I'm going to have to figure out how to pronounce that guy's name at some point. $5 super chat that just says Malachi Pinkheart.
Oh,
thank you.
Yay.
Thank you.
So, yes, we really appreciate your all's patience. I will remind everybody who thinks this looks effortless that we once recorded a whole podcast on the backup recorder, holding our mics around the table that is no longer in the studio while it was covered in crap.
Boy, that was a night.
That was, for me, in the chronology of recording this podcast, only the third worst one.
There were worse ones. There were. It's been a fun 10 months. But look, it has not been effortless.
It's not effortless, but it is fun. It is incredibly fun.
It is.
And if you guys if you guys tune in to our regular podcast, OVW Podcast, wherever you find your podcast,
The unofficial
podcast of Ohio Valley Wrestling, if you guys listen to us on there, you guys watch us here. If you guys are having an ounce of the fun that we have putting this together, then that's worth it to us to go through the not so fun parts. This has been such an incredible opportunity for us, and I know that we're all super grateful for it. I don't mean to be sentimental as we're signing off here. But
one more thing, they're talking.
Oh, did we get a super chat?
No, but that there is. We do want to mention how much fun it has been to have Crixus terrorizing the fan zone group on Facebook.
Yeah.
Well, there goes
if you comment him, he will show up and talk smack to you. So that's been kind of fun.
But we cannot understate that, we can't do this without you guys. We can't. There's no hard work for Malachi to figure out the problems too if you guys don't listen to this thing, and we sincerely appreciate you guys every single week. My name is Jackman Oaks.
I'm Brian Hines.
This has been the OVW Fan Zone, where fans talk back.
Have a good day.